Hi, I'm Lisa from Active Domestics, and today I'm going to talk about wiping a table. Now you might think that wiping a table is a really basic and easy thing to do, but I'm here to tell you that I've seen with my own eyes a lot of people make some very common mistakes when it comes to doing this job. The first thing that you want to think about when you're wiping a table is, are you using the correct product for the job? Not all tabletops are made of the same materials, and so you need to make sure that the product that you've chosen is suitable to clean the material that your surface or your table is made out of. Now think about it. If you choose the wrong product for your cleaning, you could cause major damage to the surface, and that could be a very costly affair. Just read the back of your product and make sure. The next common error I see people regularly do is they use a dry cloth instead of a damp cloth. Now let's face it, cleaning a table is really important, not just in someone's home, but in all the restaurants and food eateries and offices. Cleaning tables and surfaces like tables is actually a very common job. You want to get it right. After you've chosen the right product for your surface, then you need to make sure that you're using it correctly. Now, I've used many multi-purpose sprays before, and every single one of them has said to use it with a damp cloth. Despite this, I've witnessed many people spray lots of product on a surface and then go to wipe it with a dry cloth. That is just dangerous. Number one, it makes cleaning really inefficient because your cloth can't glide over the surface properly, meaning that the microfiber cloth also can't do its job properly because it needs to be damp in order to entrap all those crumbs and bits of dirt and bacteria. Number two, it could be really dangerous for your surface and you might wreck it. The other thing I've seen people do is they clean things just with the cloth screwed up in their hands like this. Now that means that when you're cleaning like this, you've only got this much surface area when you're cleaning. But if you fold your cloth either in halves or in quarters, depending on the size of your hand, you've got this much surface area when you're cleaning and wiping. So you're going to get the job done faster and more efficiently. If one surface or side of the cloth gets really dirty, you can just fold it over and then keep on cleaning. Then of course you are going to want to give your cloth a very good rinse, because if you don't do that and you just keep going with a really dirty cloth, all you're doing is wiping around dirt, and that's just a waste of time. I've also seen people forget that there's more than one surface to a table. Obviously this is the obvious surface that people always clean. But what about the edges? They also get touched and get food on them, including the table legs. We've all got oils in our hands, and add that to a bit of food grease and or dirt, then things can get quite dirty around here. Now if I'm going to go to the trouble of giving my table a really thorough clean, I'm also going to wipe over the chairs because they get dirty too. In particular, you want to wipe over those touch points that people are commonly using in order to move the furniture. So that's going to be these parts and also these parts. It doesn't take a whole lot of extra time to do that, and it really looks after your furniture, keeps things looking great. The other thing, and I probably should have mentioned this first, is you always need to consider the order in which you're going to do your jobs. You're going to wipe this table well before you vacuum underneath it, because wiping it, even if you're really careful, you're going to still get dust and stuff on the ground. So always you do your wiping and your dusting before you do your vacuuming and or your mopping. Most times in cleaning, you're going to give things a wipe over to clean it, and then rinse your cloth out really well and give it a wipe over again to rinse it. Now that's important, especially in places like a table, because consider If you're using some sort of a cleaning chemical, multi-purpose spray, whatever it is that you're using, even if it's a natural one, it could actually cause someone to have a skin reaction if you use too much cleaning product and then they put their arms or whatever on the table. So, you know, you just, with any cleaning, it's clean it first, then rinse it. So, you know, that's just the standard thing, because when the rinsing part is not only important to clean away any excess cleaning product, but it also gives things that second wipe over, and it stops things from looking streaky, and it really removes all that excess dirt, excess product, and everything all at the same time. You can either spray onto the surface or directly onto the cloth. Now, I usually make that judgment call based on how dirty the surface is. If the surface was really dirty, I would need to use more product, and so I would probably spray directly onto the surface. But this is not very dirty, this table, so I'm just going to spray directly onto my damp cloth. Now I'm going to start at this end to show you. Another thing that I've noticed many times when I've seen people wiping tabletops is they'll stay at one end of the table and just endeavour to reach across the whole table in order to wipe it, as opposed to walking around to the other side and giving the other side a thorough wipe as well. Now, I'm just demonstrating here. But it's important to wipe the whole table with the same amount of enthusiasm. And if you're going to do things in a thorough way, you're of course going to have to walk around the table, especially a large table. Most tables you're not just going to be able to reach just by leaning over. You are going to have to walk around in order to clean them properly. You can't vacuum in and around a table thoroughly without moving the chairs, in my opinion. It just simply can't be done. So, but you don't want to just put everything on the floor. I mean, obviously, if you've got quite a pile of dust, you're going to wipe it in your hand and then go and empty that into the sink, which I've got now. When you do move any chairs or anything out of the way, don't drag them. You always want to lift things carefully and move them out of the way. The last thing that you want to do is scrape a chair and potentially scratch any floorboards or create any marks on the floor surface. As you can see, there's a lot of things that you need to consider when you're wiping a table, and I hope you found this video helpful. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, and of course, thank you very much for watching. You have a great day and happy cleaning.